Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. I can't even remember the last time I did one of these. I think it might have been a year ago. The year has just been so crazy. I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm at, what I have been doing. It's just gone by in a flash. Like I thought it was going to go really, really slow, but it went so quickly. But yeah, I think it was a year ago. Anyway, this will probably be the last craft video in this house, which is quite sad when I think about it now. This moving process has been so slow. I mean, I think we started it in April, and we thought we were going to be moved around June time, but it's just been so slow. Hopefully though, we're very near the end. We're hoping to move in October. Fingers crossed that nothing else goes wrong, because it's been such a bumpy ride, and there's been so much that's gone wrong. But yeah, hopefully we're nearly there now. So what I thought I would do is film a video now. One, because I've got so much to show you, and two, once we move, I'm not sure how long it's going to be again until I can film another one. But hopefully I'll be able to sort of recreate a little crafty corner in the new house, and keep doing these videos, because I do really love making these videos and showing you what I've been up to. I also filmed an allotment vlog in the little purple potting shed a couple of weeks ago as well. I have yet to edit it. I was going to edit it straight away, and then we had a bit of a bump with the move, so I delayed it a bit. But actually the little purple potting shed has been sold, and it got picked up last week, so I can't film that video again. I don't know why I would want to film it again. I just don't want to jinx the house move. But yeah, it's hopefully happening, and we'll hopefully be moved in October. So yeah, it is quite sad, because I mean, I've been in this house since I was 10. But on the other hand, very excited for the new beginnings, and I know it's going to be a new adventure, and I'm so excited about that. So yeah, sad to see the purple shed go and things, but equally as excited about the move. But anyway, I've got so much to show you. Like I feel like I mean, if it has been a year, I feel like I haven't done that much within that year. But I mean, we have been busy with the move and with work. But yeah, I do have a few things to show you, and I am wearing some of the things that I need to show you. What I might do is, I've got all my notes here, and I'm hoping that I've written everything down and all the details. But I do have a Ravelry page, so you can follow me on there. I think I'm called Katie the Gardener 28. But I will put it up on the screen somewhere so you can follow me on there, because I tend to put all the projects, all my knitting projects on there, with all the yarn and all my notes and things. I quite like looking on Ravelry and seeing all my little projects and knowing all the little things that I've done, so if I knit them again, then I know what to do. So yeah, you can follow me on there, but I will try and tell you everything you need to know about all the projects which I've done. So we might as well start with what I'm wearing. I will start with the knitted things first, because I have been sewing as well. Now this jumper, I love it so much. It is the Flax jumper by Tin Can Knits, and I used Malabrigo yarn. I think it was Malabrigo Rios. What is this colour? I think it's Frank Ochre. And yeah, I mean, you all know I love mustard anyway. It's not a secret. So yeah, my favourite colour. I did do a little bit of a modification to it. So in the original Tin Can Knits pattern, it's just a knit and purl, but I've put a cable down the centre here, because I do love a cable, and I just think it adds, I think without it, it looks a little bit industrial, if a hand knitted garment can look industrial, but this just adds a nice little touch to it. I do love a cable. I'm going to get up and show you so you can see it a bit better. You can probably see the colour a bit better here as well. So yeah, really happy with it, and there's the cable. down the sleeve. So happy with it, really happy. Oh, I can't really spin around, the bed's in the way. So yeah, really chuffed. I did make it a bit cropped. That's because I do like wearing high-waisted things, so this skirt's quite high-waisted, and I wear high-waisted jeans as well. I'm one of those like old people at heart that like to have not have their bottom showing, so to speak, when they bend over and things like that. So I do like to have high-waisted. They're also more comfy, aren't they? And I can tuck my vest in in the winter. I'm such an old person. So yeah, I made it cropped because I knew that I wear high-waisted things and I just thought it would look better. And I do really like the length of it. It's really comfortable. The neck is a little bit slouchy, which is nice. And again, I made these sleeves 3/4 length. I don't own a jumper with 3/4 length sleeves. So I was like, oh, I'm going to knit one. Because, I mean, I'm quite like a cold person, as in I feel the cold. I'm not a horrible person. I feel the cold. So even like in the summer, I would probably wear a jumper sometimes. So I thought I'd probably get quite a lot of wear out of it if it was 3/4 for all seasons. And also then I thought, well, in the winter, if it does get cold, you could just wear like a stripy long sleeve top underneath and it would still look really nice. So yeah, really chuffed with it. An all seasons jumper. The yarn is beautiful. The colour I just love. Yeah, really chuffed with it. And I think I knitted it up within like a month, which is pretty good for me. Really good for me. So that's one of my finished knitted garments. I also knitted a baby cardigan for a friend. I'm just going to sip my tea. My lovely friend Hayley is expecting her first baby and she found out it was going to be a girl. So I was like, right, I know someone who's having a baby. I can knit them something. And I actually knitted this when I first started my knitting journey a couple of years ago now. Yeah, I knitted this little jumper by Petite Knits in Filcolana Panilla yarn. And again, this is, I think it's called Dijon, this yarn. It's like a greeny mustard, isn't it? Anyway, I didn't want to send her this one because this was like my first ever knitted baby thing. And I was like, oh, one day if I ever have kids, I'd quite like for them to wear this. So because I knew she was going to have a girl, I decided to knit her a pink version. And it's like a nice dusky rose pink. Oh, here it is. So I knitted this cardigan by Petite Knits. I think it's the beginner jacket in this pink colour. Is it going to show? So yeah, it's a nice sort of dusky pink colour, 820. And yeah, I put little wooden buttons shaped like flowers on there. And yeah, I was really happy with it. And I sent it off to her and she was chuffed. So that was a nice little knit. Obviously I don't have it here to show you, so I will just magically put a picture up. And yeah. Oh, that's right, because I did have a few projects on the go. And then I put one down because I messed it up and I had to start again. And then I started to knit this, which I will show you in a minute, my Invisibility shawl. And then I found out she was having a baby, so I put that down and then knit the cardigan. And then I picked this up. Oh my God, I can't wait to show you. The tea is cold. So this, literally, I finished it 2 days ago. I blocked it yesterday. It dried really quickly because usually when I block things, actually I usually knit quite chunky things, so they take quite a long time to dry and to block. But this blocked and was dry within like 4 hours, which I was really surprised by. So So yeah, it's hot off the blocking pads. This is what I call my Invisibility shawl. Oh, God, I love it. It's actually, what's the pattern called? Oh, it's here. Oh, it's very scruffy because I've been carrying it around for ages. So it's called Wave by the River Knitter. And the pattern calls for one skein, but I used 2. What were they, 100 grams? They must have been. Yeah. But I used 2 because I wanted it to be a little bit longer than it looked in the pictures. I wanted it to sort of, float and wrap around me nicely. Barry's just coming in to look for Ted. But Teddy's on the bed sleeping, Baz. Sorry if I get interrupted by the dogs at some point today. I'm surprised Ted isn't barking, but he's sleeping on the bed at the moment. Where was I? Yeah, I used 2 because I wanted it to be a bit more flowing, a bit more, more to wrap around me. I'm so happy with it. So the yarn is called the Invisibility Cloak by Telling Yarns, and I've gone on about her before because she does Harry Potter themed yarns, and I'm such a big Harry Potter geek if you didn't already know. So yeah, that's why I call this the Invisibility shawl, because it's knitted with the Invisibility Cloak yarn. Yeah, let me show you it up close. Actually, let me close my door first. Right, I don't know if you're going to see the yarn very well, but it's so beautiful. It's like a turquoisey colour with flecks of orange, yellow, blue, red. Absolutely beautiful. And I think if you know Harry Potter and the Invisibility Cloak, then you know it's sort of like a velvet, you're not supposed to see it. But when he puts it on, it's like a velvety colour with, lots of different colours in it. So it's absolutely perfect. I'm just going to put it on and show you. So it's got all these, I don't know what you call them actually, like lace runs, which create these flares on there. Can you see the little lace there? So yeah, it's nice and flary and flowy. I'm going to try and put it on now without knocking my microphone. Oh, this isn't very good, is it? I haven't put the... So here it is. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm probably going to knock the microphone now, so excuse me if it goes a bit funny. I love it, and it sits so nicely on your shoulders, sort of just drapes, so it feels like a little bit like a shrug. Yeah, absolutely love it. And it's, a nice, I think it is fingering weight. So it's nice and light, and it's going to be really nice, especially now, these September days, to just put over your shoulders as a little bit of extra warmth. But yeah, love it so much. I love all the flares. I did block it, and then it said to steam those flares because they were curling up. So I steamed the ends, and yeah, it's just laying beautifully now. And what I will do is I'm hoping to go to a beach to catch the sunset one time in the evening, maybe next week if it stays nice. So I'll try and get some nice pictures of it. But yeah, so happy with it. And it was such a nice pattern. Once you knew the pattern, it was just in your head, and you could just sit and watch telly and knit. So yeah, really happy with that one. It's beautiful. That's all my projects done, which means now I can get on with other knitted projects. And the one which I was going on about earlier, which I knitted 2 big So I decided to frog it and start again knitting it in a small. I sort of lost a bit of love for it because I, had to start over. I was a little bit frustrated with myself. But I got to this point. I knitted an arm. Oh, I didn't know I knitted an arm. I literally thought I had just done the body and I had the arms to do. I've knitted an arm. Oh, that's a really, really happy surprise. So yeah, there we go. I've knitted the body and I've knitted an arm. So that's good. What's this pattern? This is Nina's Cardigan by Nina Knits. And I'm using We Are Knitters Petite Wool. And again, I think this is ochre, which is mustard. And it's a nice chunky one. Gosh, I don't even know when I started this. Long time ago. But again, it will actually be nice to get back on this and finish it because it's coming into autumn now. It'll be nice to chuck over dresses and things. I'm so happy that I've done an arm. So happy. So yeah, I'm knitting this in a small now because the medium was really, really big. And what I actually think that I did was I made the arms too long because I've got long arms anyway. I always get a bit overexcited and I'm always like, oh, I'm going to knit the arms really, really long. They were really long, really long. So it just didn't look right. So yeah. Oh, I'm going to get back on that tonight then. Won't be long until I finish that. The only other sort of knitting, I do have a few in mind, but the only one that I would quite like to do this year is a little thing for Ted. He's 14 months old now. Actually, he'll be 15 months at the end of September. Oh God, I love him so much. He is trouble. He is trouble. But I love him. I cannot imagine my life without him. He's fast asleep on my bed because we went to town this morning. So we had a little adventure in town. And I'm hoping he's going to sleep to the end of this anyway. And then we can go out for another walk. Is it in? No, it's not in that one. This is a bag my lovely friend Helen made me for Christmas. Miranda's map bag, because I'm a Harry Potter geek. Oh, talking of bags, this is what the Ted's Project bag is in. I treated myself to a bag. It is by Fibre Fox, and I saw her post it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that bag's got Teddy on it. I need to have it. So I bought it because I thought, oh, you know what? All the projects which I'm going to knit for Ted, I can put in this bag. There's Ted. There's you, Ted. Yeah, so all the projects which I'm going to knit for Ted, this can be Teddy's official project bag. So yeah, from the Fibre Fox. Love it. This is the yarn that was left over from my Weasley jumper. Which is here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, my Weasley jumper. I've shown you that on a previous episode. I'm going to knit Ted one because, you know, we might as well have matching Weasley jumpers. So I found a pattern. It took me a while actually because I just wanted like a plain jumper for dogs. Because, what do you call it? Duplicate stitch. You duplicate stitch the initial on it. So I just wanted a plain knitted jumper which I could just duplicate the T onto. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to work. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to knit it in the same yarn that I used, which was Cascade 220. Oh gosh, I can't remember the colours. I want to say red wine heather. I can't remember. I will try and find them and put them on the screen anyway. But they are on Ravelry as well. So I'm going to do it in the maroon colour and then do the initial in the mustardy gold colour. And obviously his will be a T, and expect to have lots of over the top embarrassing matching jumper photos at Christmas time. Super excited to do that. So after I've done my cardigan, I'm going to do his jumper. Hopefully that'll be ready in time for Christmas. But yeah, that's all I've really got planned. I mean, there's always other projects. I did actually, at the beginning of the year, I did write down all the projects which I wanted to do with all the yarn that I've already got. And I haven't bought any yarn for over a year, which is really good, isn't it? That's really good. Because the idea is to really just use the yarn that I've got. Because we're moving, I didn't really want to buy more stuff to move, because my gosh, you don't realise how much stuff you've got until you have to start packing it into boxes. I've got a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's all my knitting. That is all. Yep. That's all my knitting projects. Oh, I didn't say what the jumper, the jumper pattern that I'm going to use for Ted is called Darling Derby Sweater by Desert Rose Fibre Arts. That's a pattern I'm using for Ted's Lucy jumper. And then yeah, I'll just duplicate stitch the initial on there. Yeah, that's all the knitting things. All the knitting things that I've done and that I'm gonna do. I have done a bit of sewing. I started to pack away like my fabric and things, and I've left a few things out to keep me going. Not knitted, I did sew Teddy some more neckerchiefs because I don't think he's going to grow anymore, but because I made him some for Christmas. They don't fit. He's grown since then. So I had to make him some more. I love a dog with neckerchiefs. Love. This is his little suitcase with all his clothes in. So yeah, just some neckerchiefs like this, which I mean quite straightforward. So he's got a nice mustard one. He's got a few gingham ones, a red and a blue gingham one. And I also have sewn him this one. I'm going to show you it up close. I call it his National Trust neckerchief. And it's got all the National Trust places which he has visited. You can collect these little embroidered badges, which I love. So yeah. He has visited more places, but not every National Trust place has a badge. So he went to Hidcote, Mottersfont Abbey, Sissinghurst, Castle Gardens and Stourhead. But yeah, he has been to a few. We do love a National Trust in this house. So yeah, I've done them for Teddy. Oh, I'm wearing the other thing that I finished. Again, it feels like I made this ages ago, but I'm just showing you now. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it a long time ago as well. So this is the Estery skirt by So Liberated. Ah, my gosh, I do really love it. Really love it. So it's got two big massive pockets. It's got buttons down the centre, some nice wooden buttons. It's also elasticated at the back, which is so comfortable. And it goes to just below my knee, which I really like because I don't like my knees, so I like to cover them up. But yeah, such an easy pattern, so comfortable. You've seen the fabric, haven't you? It's like a grey gingham. I think it's like a linen viscose mix. It is from Crafty Studio .ie. She has lots of beautiful fabrics. And yeah, I mean, it just goes with everything gingham, doesn't it? I particularly like the grey gingham with the mustard. Actually, when I made this jumper, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to sew myself a skirt to sort of go with it. So I did actually make this outfit to go together. It goes with other things. But yeah, I can see myself making this pattern over and over again. Is it here somewhere? Oh yeah, here it is. Because the lady on the front has like a mustard coloured one, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need a mustard skirt. So yeah, those are the only two things I think I've sewn. But I do have two new things for future projects, which I might try and do before we move, because I don't think they will take that long. And actually I was inspired. I went into Marks and Spencer's the other day, and they had, which I think are like in now, knitted tank top. He had a cream knitted tank top, and I actually have one in my project stash, which I've had in my project stash for a couple of years now, like a green one, and I have the yarn and everything, so I must knit that. But anyway, they had it paired with this really beautiful flowery shirt, and they just went beautifully together. The problem with me is, like I said, I've got long arms, so whenever I buy like a shirt, it's like way too short. So I thought, do you know what, I can sort of sew. I'll make myself one. So I went online to look for some patterns, and I found a pattern by Nina Lee called the Bakerloo Blouse and Dress. And again, I think I was inspired by someone on Instagram. It's got a lovely, lovely collar. I don't think I will do the collar that big. But yeah, I'm going to make it in this fabric here, which is a viscose crepey fabric. Blues and greens and mustards. Really, really nice drape to it. So I'm going to make one of those blouses in this fabric. I was looking for like either a blue or like a mustardy crepe fabric to do the ruffle on the edge of the collar, but they didn't have any in the fabric shop. I went today to look and they didn't have any. They just had cream, and I thought, well, that's a bit boring. I want a little bit of a pop of colour, so I won't be able to start that one yet. But what I'm going to sew next is this. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but the company is called Atelier Scamit, and the pattern is called the Virivolte Blouse. Again, I'll pop it all up on the screen because I probably didn't say that right. So that's the pattern. Oh, such a beautiful pattern book. I mean, so, so beautiful. I got both these patterns from a website called The Fold Line. So many beautiful patterns on there. I could have gone mad. But yeah, that's the one I'm going to make next. And it calls for like denim or crepe, but I've gone for a linen mix fabric. I was looking for a plain linen, and then I was going to dye it like a nice colour. They didn't have any plain linen. It was all like linen mix with viscose, so I thought that wouldn't dye very well. But I did see this, which again is a linen mix. It's just like a beige, a natural with polka dot on it, but I thought that would look really cool as a top, especially if you wear it with jeans. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the long sleeve version in this fabric. Very excited about that because I actually have, like, I wear jeans quite a lot actually, and I don't have many tops to wear with them. So I'm quite looking forward to sewing some tops with arms that actually fit me in length. So I think I'm gonna sew that one next, and hopefully it won't take too long. But it's gotten such a nice shape to it, really nice shape. And the pattern picture doesn't actually do it much justice. If you look online at the pictures of someone actually wearing one, it's so, so beautiful. Well, I think so anyway. So yeah, that's what I will be sewing next, a couple of blouses for myself. So yeah, that's all my knitting, all my sewing. Yeah, I think the only other thing that, I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but my scrapbook, which as you can see is quite large, and what I have done is I have made it all the way to December 2020, and then I thought, right, I'll finish it there and then start the next scrapbook for 2021, and then what I could do maybe is just do a scrapbook per year, whereas this one sort of started in 2013 and did all, you know, my favourite projects, and then we got to 2020 here, so that's why it's a little bit fatter than it should be. I might have to put like a belt around it just to keep it down. But yeah, I have been working on that every now and again, and yeah, really happy with it. So I'll show you a few little close-ups now. But yeah, it only goes up to December. Actually, I still need to add some text to it. But it is quite nice just sitting down for an hour or 2 hours in the evening and just completely losing yourself in a craft. I love it. So yeah, I'll show you a few close-ups of that at the end. Probably, I was going to say when the end credits go up, but I don't have any credits. But yeah, I will show you a few of those pages at the end. And I think that's about it. I hope I've covered it all. There's probably going to be things that I've forgotten about, and tomorrow I'll be sitting there going, oh, I didn't show them that. But this won't be the last video. I will be continuing these videos, but like I said, it'll probably be a while. We'll settle into the new house. Hopefully try and recreate a nice little crafty corner where I can escape to. And yeah, I want to keep doing these videos, and likewise with the allotment videos. Where we're moving to has got a couple of acres, so we're hoping to get some pigs and goats and chickens and ducks. Big vegetable garden, there's an orchard already there. So yeah, there are huge plans, and I'm so excited about starting the allotment videos up again. Well, I suppose I won't be able to call it an allotment anymore because it'll be in the back garden. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to finish the video, they are going to still go in. It's just going to be a little while until we settle, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed that. It was nice chatting to you again. It feels like such a long time. I hope you liked all my projects, and yeah, thank you so much. I always feel a bit awkward about ending these, like I don't know what to say. But yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you soon.